I hope everybody's doing well. Today I'll be filming a bridal inspired makeup tutorial that I have recently come across on Pinterest, and it really caught my eye because the bride looked actually really fresh, really glowy, really healthy from inside out. So if you want to know how I got this look, please keep watching. Today I'll be filming a bridal inspired makeup tutorial. I've done my base makeup already. I've left out my contour, blush and highlight. I've done the basics of my eyebrows, but I'm going to set them and color them in later on with a liquid product after I do my eyeshadows. So for my foundation, I've used the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Polished in the shade 220 Sun Beige. You guys know I love this. Yes, it's not a high-end product, and for a wedding, for a bride, you would use high-end, but I found that this covers my pores along with the pore filler that I have, and it just does wonders. It lasts all day long. It's a little wonder in a bottle. Honestly, I can't go wrong with this foundation. I have tried high-end products and crossed them with this. Nothing just compares to the Maybelline Fit Me. I've never tried the Dewy. I'm going to buy that really soon, only because sometimes I do feel a little dehydrated in these sort of weathers, and I just want to see how it goes with that. Now I jumped into the foundation, but for my pore filler and my primer, I've used the Sephora Prep and Perfect Blurring Effect Pore Filler. I've bought this, as you can see, it is almost 2D. I've used this in Turkey while it was goddamn hot, and I'm talking about 49 to 50 degrees hot, and I honestly found that this does wonders. It's almost as good as the Benefit Professional. Nothing can compare to that little bad boy, but this does wonders. And then for my primer, I've used the Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer. I've used this because I know that if it's a bride, you're going to want that makeup to stay matte and perfect all day long. So I've went in with this. I do have high-end stuff, but like I said, I've tried high-end stuff, and for my skin, honestly, these are the products that really work for me. For my concealer, I went in with the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10 Light. You guys know I love this. This is my third bottle now, and I am empty. You can see I'm just scraping around the edges to actually get through the whole bottle before throwing it out. It's lightweight. Again, crossing it to the high-end products, I am in love with this one. And also the Maybelline Master Conceal is bomb. It's amazing with what it does. It's thick compared to the Fit Me. This one's just really lightweight. You don't feel it there at all whatsoever. To set my face, I've used Australis Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder Foundation in the shade Medium Tan. There is lighter ones, and honestly, I found that this works with nearly every single skin tone, light to medium skin tone, and I've actually hit pan on the product. I've used this recently for my sister's engagement and all of the ladies that I've done their makeup on, and it lasted all night long with the weathers here in Australia. It's crazy. It's tropical. It goes hot and cold in one day, but this did wonders for every single lady I've had, and I've had fair, really porcelain fair skin tones and really olive and yellow undertoned skins for that night. To fill in my brows, I've used the Essence Eyebrow Designer in the shade 01 Black. Like I've said, I do really change up the way I've done my brows, and being on YouTube has really opened my eyes and allowed me to look for different ways to do my eyebrows. I used to go in with only a crayon and that's it, you know, Bob's your uncle, that's all I would do. But now I've actually changed the way I do them, and I found that a pencil product or a crayon product underneath for the base, and then a liquid or powder, and then liquid on top. Now, I'm supposedly a bride in this makeup tutorial, so I'm going to want my lips to look really hydrated by the end of the night. So to prep my lips, I've used the Napoleon Purtis Autopilot Lip Service. It is a bit minty. There is another one, I think, but this one works the best, and while I was working at Napoleon, I've used this on every single client, bride or not, before their makeup application was done. So before I put my foundation on and before I prep my skin, well, my client's skin, I would pop this little bad boy on them and then go ahead and prep their skin and put their foundation on. And by the time I put their lipstick on, half of the time they'd go for matte or liquid lipstick, and by that time their lips are so supple, so soft, and it glides straight on there, and again it lasts all night. Now for my nose contour, I'll be using the Napoleon Purtis Camera Finish Powder Foundation in the shade N5 or Topaz. You guys know that I love this little bad boy. I'm not going to rave about him anymore because I do honestly, it sounds like a broken record. Let's not go there. It's not cute. But yeah, I'll be using this for my nose contour as per usual. I'll be first drawing out my nose contour and then buffing it out with a buffer brush. You guys have seen me do this 100 million times, so, and I'll definitely leave a link down below to the tutorial that I've actually in depth done my contour and nose contour. And then I'll be buffing that out with my BH Cosmetics 128 brush. Also, I'll leave a link down below to the BH Cosmetics website. Direct link, go ahead and buy their brushes. I've had them for over 2 years now, and honestly, no fallouts, like no bristles fall out. They're so sturdy. Honestly, like no joke, they are the most sturdiest brushes that I've ever used and ever had. So for my actual contour, I'll be using the Essence Satin Touch Blush in the shade 30 Satin Bronze. I've recently purchased this new. I usually use the 40 Natural Beauty, and this is, I think, a shade lighter than that one. I have not touched it, I've only swatched it, and it's sort of like a first impression, so we'll see how we go with that one. So like you guys can see, it is very pigmented, very blendable, it's subtle, but it looks like a product that you can actually build it up to your desired contour effect. So by now you guys know that I do highlight before I put my blush on. So for that, I'll be using the BH Cosmetics Black Light Highlighting Palette, and I'll be using the shade Illusion for that one. This is amazing, honestly. A little bit of Fix Plus and Bob's Your Uncle. It's hands down the best highlighter I have ever actually used. Now I do want to look very dewy, and I want my highlight to pop, so I'll be definitely overdoing it with the highlighter. If you don't like that, that's fine. Go with how subtle you ever want it to go. But with me, a little bit of a queen of highlights, so I'll definitely be overdoing it. Like, see what I mean? Just the smallest touch of a brush, and oh, it's just amazing. With your highlight also, you would want to go on the top of your brow as well. So if, as a bride, you're going to have your hair up or down, wherever you turn in the light, it's going to catch that reflect straight away. Like, see that? So wherever I turn in the lights, it's going to catch it. It's just going to hold on to it. And then with a smaller buffing brush, I'll just be dabbing into that product again and putting it on the tip of my nose and also on the bridge and on my Cupid's bow as well. Now for my blush, I'll be using the Essence Glitter in the Air Strobing Blush and Highlighting Powder in the shade 01 When in Doubt Add Glitter. Now, like I said before, I do want this look to be very dewy and very glowing. I want to look like a healthy bride. I don't want to look matte whatsoever. Yes, I want my foundation to be matte, but I want to glow as well, like a really healthy glow. That's why I've gone for the really highlighted stuff, and also I've gone for a blush that also has like a gleam sort of to it. And I found out the Essence new blush pan does wonders when we're talking, when that's the effect we want to go for. And this color is just honestly to die for. It is so cute. It is so girly. Now to brighten up my under eyes and also sharpen my contour more, on top of all of that, I'll be using the Australis Quincy Cream and Powder Contouring and Highlighting Kit. And I'll be using the banana shade right there, just underneath my contour and underneath my eyes as well. And for that, I'll be using my Real Techniques setting brush. Instantly, you can see that like brightens it up a little bit and brings it more forward. So moving on to my eyes, today I'll be using one eyeshadow palette and one shadow pan. I'll be using the Morphe 350 palette, and I'm going to keep this look very neutral but also very glamorous and shimmery as well. So it brings my eyes out further, like forward, and also makes my eyes the center of attention when you look at my face. So as a base shade, I'll be going in with the first white shade on the Morphe 350 palette, and I'll be using any flat top brush for that. Like you can see, I am packing this white bone shade at the very front of my eyelid and keeping it subtle on the end. Still using some there obviously because we want to blend out the colors, but keeping it very, very solid and opaque when it comes to the front of my eyelid. And then now for my transition shade, I'll be using that shade right there. It's the first shade on the third row, and I'll just be going in with any blending brush with that one. You want to keep this shade in the crease of your eyelid and maybe just above the crease and blend it upwards. And when my brush doesn't have as much product on it, I am bringing it all the way into the beginning of my eye, so it gives it that carved out look. It gives it a little bit of dimension to my eye as well. So So for the outer corner, to start off with, I'll be using the shade on the second row. That's the second last shade there. And with this shade, I'll be placing that in the outer V using circular motions inwards or outward. Inwards would work better, and coming halfway through on my eyelid. Main focus of this is to stay subtle but create dimension. We're now going on with a darker shade to get it that ombre sort of effect on the outer corners. I'll be using the third last shade on the last row of the 350 Morphe palette, and I'll be going in very light-handed with this one. Actually, I'm going to change my brush. So I'll be showing you two different brushes from two different brands. One from Zoeva, the other one is from Motives Cosmetics. But I just wanted to show you the way they're shaped so you know what to buy. That's them over there. They're shaped in a diamond sort of shape, but with the tip on the high tops of it. And with this shade, I'll be focusing on the very outer V of my eyelid. So just exactly right there. And see, even without blending it, it's created that dimension in my eye. This may be looking a little messy, especially if you are a beginner. And even pros like myself, or anyone actually, they will mess it up. But this sort of thing, you can definitely blend it out. Key is blending when it comes to the darker eyeshadow shades. Please notice how I am holding my makeup brush. If I was to hold it at the very tip, it's going to go on blunt, bold and opaque, and it's going to be very, very hard to blend it out. But I mainly hold my brushes at the very tip of it, only so I don't go in with a heavy hand, and it's very easy to apply and blend out later on. Now, before going ahead and adding any more darker product onto my eyelids, I'll be blending that out first. And for that, I'll be using my Zoeva 124 Concealer Buffer Brush. Yes, it's a concealer buffer, but it is a buffer brush, and it works wonders when it's blending out product on the eyes. And I'm blending that inwards, never outwards. Now, using dark shades like matte black can be a make or break for somebody, but even daring to take that is something like I was never used to. Nowadays, I've changed the way I work around with makeup, so I do take that challenge and do use really, really dark black shades as well. And for the outer corners of my eyes, I'll be using the Napoleon Purtis Color Disc in the shade Silver Screen. There is two shades in this pan halfway through, one white, one black. I'll be using the black shade. It's not matte, it does have a little bit of silver flecks through it, but they're very, very fine and you won't be able to tell. And again, going in with that diamond shaped buffing brush. When using dark shades, go light-handed, start off little. Don't forget, little is sometimes a lot more than what you expect. So start off little and build it up to your desired effect. Again, focusing only on the outer corners and the outer V. Don't freak out if it looks like a hot mess at the moment. We're going to fix that up, do not worry. Again, going in with my concealer buffer brush from Zoeva and blending that inwards. I'm going in with a flat top tiny brush, and I'm using my Zoeva 237 detail brush for this one. I'll be using the bone shade again from the Morphe 350 palette, and I'll be focusing this in the inner corner of my eyes and going halfway through to my lid. And then going in underneath my eyebrow to define that a lot more. Now, using the same detailing brush, I'll be using the third shade inwards of the Morphe 350 palette. And first off, I'll be starting this dry. If need be, I'll go in with MAC Fix Plus and foil it up a little bit. Focusing this on the inner corner to the middle of my eyelid. Then going in with a flat top brush, any flat top brush will do, and I'll be using the lightest to the darkest shades on my under eyes. So first off, I'll be going in with a crease shade and focusing that on the outer corners halfway through. And then using that second last mocha shade that we used and building that on top of that shade that we just placed. And very lastly, using that charcoal shade that we used to create the dimension before adding the black shade. And just focusing this one on the outer corners. Now for the inner corner of my eye, I'll be using the BH Cosmetics highlighting palette, and I'll be using the same shade Illusion for the inner corner of my eye, so it just completes that whole look and puts everything together for me. And for that, I'll be using any bullet brush, so that's what I mean when it's a bullet, dabbing that shade on right in the inner corners. Now on top of my eyelid where I've placed my light shades, I'll be using my Napoleon Purtis Loose Eye Dust in the shade Starlight. I've used this over and over again. You guys know the drill with this one. I'm in love with it. I'll show you what it looks like once again. But it's just basically a loose dust, as you can see, and it just gleams when it just catches any sort of light. And for that, any normal flat top shadow brush will do, any buffing brush will do. It'll give it the same effect because, again, it is a loose dust. It's not a pigment in any shape or form, unless you foil it up. So while my eyelash glue is going a bit tacky, I'll leave it there for maybe 2 minutes at the very max and let it to go tacky. While that's happening, I'll set my brows now. And for that, I'll be using my Maybelline Brow Drama in the shade Dark Brown. For my mascara, I'll be using the Essence Get Big Volume Boost Waterproof Mascara and just applying a thin coat of this on my eyelashes since we're using falsies anyway. And I'll do the bottoms later on after my whole eye look is finished. So here comes the part where we actually wipe off the leftover lip service that we applied at the very start of the tutorial. And by that time, your lips have soaked it up and they're so supple, so hydrated as well. For my lip liner, I'll be going with the Essence Lip Liner in the shade 11 in the nude. And then while we're waiting for the glue to get a lot more tackier, we are a bride. I don't know how your dress is going to be, but definitely my dress's décolletage will definitely be opened. And for that reason, you can go in with more highlighter if you want to, but with the brush that you use your highlighter most with, just pop that on to your collarbones and on the very beginning of your collarbones. They'll stick out a lot more, come to the surface a lot more. Wherever you move in the light, you're glowing. Okay, so you guys seen me use these lashes before. They're amazing. Like, yes, they're $1.50 on eBay. I will leave a link down below, and I have left links in my previous makeup tutorials as well. But eBay lashes, wonders. Like, yes, I've tried a shit ton of eyelash companies and brands out there, and they're all amazing, honestly. But these ones are the ones that I'm going for. They're fluffy, they're full, and they're exactly what a bride needs. Not too much and not too little. So I'll definitely pop these little bad boys on and I'll be right back with you guys. So now that my lashes are on, I'll be going in and blending them in with some eyeliner, tight liner, bottom lash liner, and also mascara. So first off, I'll start with the mascara, get that over and done with. And again, I'll be using the same mascara that I did before and just blending my falsies and also my real lashes together. And now going ahead and putting them on my lower lash line. I don't want to do this too much because my lower lashes are as long as my top lashes and it just looks like a hot mess when I put too much product on my lower lashes as well. So to cover up the band of my eyelashes, I'll be using the Napoleon Purtis China Doll Gel Eyeliner in the shade In. And I'll be using my Sports Girl eyeliner brush. You just want a very thin line on this one, not thick at all, just to cover up that band. And then going in my tight liner as well. So going in my waterline, I'll be using the Napoleon Purtis China Doll Gel Eyeliner in the shade Yang. And for that, I'll be using my Zoeva Wing Liner brush. So for my lip products, I'll be using 2 NYX products. And I'll first start off with the NYX Liquid Suede in the shade Soft Spoken. And then after we allow that to dry, I'll just be popping the NYX Lip Lingerie in the shade Lace Detail in the bottom middle and the top middle of my lips to give it that ombre fuller effect. So now to finish off everything, I'll be going in with my Australis Makeup Finishing Spritz. All day wear, keeps it matte, keeps it on your face for more than 16 hours. I've tried it before, yes. So I'll be spraying this and later on I'll be doing my hair as well. It smells amazing. So just before I finish this makeup tutorial, I wanted to also do a little bit something different and I wanted to do my hair as well. I'll just be using a VS mini waving tool, heating tool, whatever it's called, oh my god, curling, whatever. But I just want to try something different and I will allow you guys to watch me do my hair as well. But this is the end result. I hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I did filming it. I did love how the hair turned out at the end of the makeup tutorial and how my makeup actually came out to be what I really wanted it. I wanted a healthy, glowy, light and luminous look, and I've achieved that with these products that I have used. Also keeping it very subtle, very light with the makeup as well. You are a bride, you don't want to go for too heavy. I mean, if that's what works with you, go ahead and do it. This is what works with me. Light, subtle, fresh and flawless makeup. Airbrush finish and just glitter all over. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys did really enjoy it as much as I did filming. Please leave your video suggestions in the comments down below. I will leave all the links to my other tutorials and also a foundation and brow tutorial, as I missed that on this tutorial, down below in the description bar. But all in all, give this video a like because it helps me out a lot. Share this video with your friends and family and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.